I talk to hundreds of people every single month. People that work with me, people that I'm training, people that just want advice, and then I'm constantly asking others for advice too. And I'll tell you what, I have to say the number one question that I get is, how do you get bookings? How do you get bookings? How do you get bookings? And there's so many different ways and forums and avenues in order to showcase our jewelry and to get bookings, in order to, just think about it. We're asking people if they will allow us to give them free jewelry. So a lot of it is in your attitude, and I could do a whole entire training on just your attitude about how we're so excited to give. But I want to be more specific here, because one of the questions that I've had and somebody's asked me to train on is how to get multiple bookings at shows. And the first thing, you guys have, all of you, if you've watched a lot of the YouTube videos, you've seen the M&M thing, you see why it's so important to get multiple bookings at shows. I really believe in the show forum. When I'm working, I'm having a great time, but I'm working. And I know that I'm going to capitalize on that captive audience, because they're there, the jewelry's right in front of them, they're excited, and I'm going to make the most of that forum, because it's smart. Where there's people, there's possibilities. So no matter how busy my calendar is, if I'm thinking I don't even know where I'm going to put these people, seriously guys, look at my calendar, don't steal any of those bookings. I always walk into a showing with the goal of getting at least 2 or 3 bookings at that show. For one thing, it's the kindest thing to do, because your hostess is going to capitalize on her hostess benefits by getting 3 bookings. She's going to be able to really take advantage or more of the 3 booking gift, and all of that comes from that. So I want to do it for her. But I also know that, the little adage, 1 to replace, 2 to grow, 3 to explode. And worst case scenario, and my team thanks me for it, I want to be a booking machine, because worst case scenarios, I have too many for me to physically do, and then I'm able to give them away. So my job is to book shows day in and day out, all the time, not just for myself, but for my team. And that actually makes me a better booker, because I know I'm doing it for other people as well. So first set yourself a goal, okay? Then you have this goal, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to get 3 bookings. And one of the things we've talked about again is that people are so visual. So if you have kind of a visual, it's going to help remind you that you have that goal, and it's also going to be right out there for your customers and the hostess to see. So a really simple one, and I don't have a visual for you, but several of the people in my group do this, is maybe like, let's say the little Cherish bracelets, okay? They're Tiffany inspired. I love to use them as a little love message to my hostesses from me. But let's say you go in and you put 4 Cherish bracelets on your hostess, and she has them all on her arm. And people are noticing them, of course. And when I talk about an arm party, I can say, look at the hostess's special arm party. I'm going to tell you in a little bit why that is particularly special today. And then as you're talking about, again, I believe in words, and I'll say, we don't really do shows. We do private appointments, personal showings. Jewelry shows pretty in a book, prettier in real life, but prettiest of all on a body. And girls want to try their jewelry on, don't you agree? And I'm like, it makes for another, just another reason for a girls' night out to be extra fun. I go to happy hours or whatever. You're all going to want to have your own showing after this, because we get new jewelry every single month. You're going to be anxious to show it to your friends that weren't able to come tonight. And you, frankly, are going to want to be the queen. You're going to want to get all the free jewelry, and I leave you dripping in it. Well, right now, if you look at, you've been wondering about Sarah's arm party over there. She has 4 different Cherish bracelets on. They're Tiffany inspired. And I want her to be able to keep one tonight. And I know she wants to be able to keep it too, as a reminder of how much fun we had. And I'll tell you what, the first 3 people that go over and take one of the other bracelets off of her arm, you get to keep it tonight, and then we also get to date your own personal showing, and you get to wear your bracelet between now and then and forever after. And when people compliment you on it, you can say, oh my gosh, isn't that fun? I know it's Tiffany inspired. I got it for free at a show from the jewelry lady, and she's going to come come and be here on this date and showing lots of other jewelry, I would love for you to come. So you get to take it tonight. You get to wear it for forever after. It's going to serve as a reminder of how much fun we had tonight. And it's also going to be a little extra love language that you're going to show your hostess, because you're going to take it from her arm, put it on yours, okay? So again, as a fashion wrap, that served as a reminder. It was a visual. It's really fun as they take the bracelets off. If you don't have someone immediately going for the bracelet, it's something that I can go and take off of her, and I can say who wants to be the first one. Something that I've done that really works is I'll say, I'll tell you what, I just met her and I love her. I'm going to be one of your bookings. I've actually done that before, putting the bracelet on my own self and say, I have showings all the time. I'm going to have a showing for you. Who wants to come to my showing? I'm going to have one for you on this date. And then I actually invite the people that are there to come to my own home. I'll say, I'm going to have a happy hour at this restaurant. I'd love for you all to come. That kind of gets that ship moving. So that's a really, really good way to get that off the ground. Another thing, these are adorable. I can't take credit for these because I borrowed them from somebody else, but these are apparently just from Walgreens, and they're in the gift section. But if you have like visuals on this, girls, I swear, you know, when you go to the into the department stores and like the cosmetic counters all have those beautiful like gift baskets. I swear women love cellophane. They'll do things for cellophane. We'll do things for like just little visuals like this because they're so cute. So you can use the little purses that you buy from online. There's a company called expressyourself.com, really cute little things like this. You can get them from Home Office, has little mini purses with like Park Lane on it. But again, it's a reminder to you and it's a visual to your audience. And I'm always going for at least 3. So let's say you have 3 of these out on the table and people ask like, what are those all about? You can say later. You can say, I'm going to tell you later. And you say, you know, I don't play favorites. I do personal showings for everybody. We're really like stylists and private shoppers. We come to your place of work. We'll go to happy hour. We'll come to your kitchen table. Wherever you want me to come and show you the new jewelry and do the style hints for your friends and family. And I always like to give you a little special something. So as you decide that you want to have your own little personal showing, you get to take one of these little purses. And then as soon as all 3 of them are taken, that'll allow you to open it. And when you open it, it's going to have special gifts in it. You might get an extra $50 worth of jewelry at your showing. You might get an extra $100. There might be a ring in there. It might say something like free shipping. But those of you who decide to help me enlarge my business and to engage more people into Park Lane, serve as ambassadors with my company, I like to treat you with something special. So as you get in the mood to have your own special showing, just grab one of these purses and it'll be a heads up to me that we need to get you on my calendar. So we'll do something like that. I actually have done some reading on this, and especially in today's society, it's not just immediate gratification. They even coined a word for it. They call it immediate getification. And when somebody holds their Park Lane showing, they're going to get gifted like crazy. We know that. Our hostess program is like nobody else's. But I found in my world that we need to give them something right then in order to seal the deal. And I've used a lot of different forums. I've watched different transactions, and I've used this so that I know that it works. But you know, if you go in to buy a car, the car dealer has learned to not let you leave there without at least starting the process of working together on getting you into that car. And the reason is that a lot of times we will leave and we'll go home, we'll get in our old car and it'll feel really crummy at first, but then we'll go home and we'll spend a few days and we'll talk ourselves out of something, okay? I don't want them talking themselves out of having a Park Lane showing, because they always have a wonderful time. They're thrilled to death with what they get, but they'll go home to their regular lives and they'll talk themselves out of it. So they'll go, oh, I know she said I was going to get this and get this and get this when I have my showing, but I can live without all of it. I'm busy. This is in the way. Maybe I'll just cancel. That really can happen. But if you've sealed the deal with like a gift right up front, it's almost like a contract. Also, I love the way one of my leaders worded it. She said, when you say you will get this at your show, she said it's almost it's almost a feeling of mistrust. Like, when you have your show, when you do your part, then I'm going to give you all this. But the opposite happens as well. So when I give them something right up front, when they first book the showing, it's a feeling of trust. Like, I trust you. I know you're going to have it. I know that we're going to see each other again. So I really want you to have this gift right now. This has actually been something that I believe in. I believe in spending money to make money. I believe in that contract, and I've seen that it works. So definitely it's up to you. You can just use the programs that Park Lane has. They're wonderful. But I think it's going to help you if you're going to be willing to do something up front for your future hostess. So couple different ways you can do this. One of the things that I do, because I do showings almost every day. I don't have a lot of time or choose to spend a lot of time putting together little things like this because they go so fast, and then all of a sudden I'm without the materials. So I'll do something as simple as this. I'll open up the ring box. I'll keep the ring box underneath the table. And when everything else is done, and I'm like, okay, are you ready? Did you notice that I haven't showed you something yet? And someone generally will know, but I'll go, it's time for the rings. And then I'll open them, and everybody goes, oh, and I'll say the rings. And I'll say, let me tell you a couple things about rings. And I'll say, first of all, I said, typically, historically, the left hand depicts ownership, but your right hand is supposed to depict how you feel about yourself. So then I'll take a really big one out, and I'll say, you know, this is how you should feel about yourself with your right hand ring. I'll take out the Fantasyland ring, and I'll say this ring was inspired by Cartier. I said the real one looks almost exactly like it. I think it looks exactly like it. It's like $18,000. And I'm like, talk about a conversation piece. I talk again about how your rings and your fingers are part of your expressive zone and how you're supposed to decorate them because it brings people a lot of joy. And I said, I want to decorate your lives. And I say, I like to, I said, you know, I've talked to you before. We do private appointments and personal showings. 2 or 3 people around a kitchen table. I said, and what I like to do above and beyond, you're not even going to believe how much you get for free when you have your personal showing and how much fun we're going to have. But above and beyond, I like to gift you with a ring of your choice. So you can choose any ring, and you're going to wear that ring between now and your showing. You're going to get so many compliments. It's going to start so many conversations, and you're going to be able to say to them, oh my gosh, I know I got this from my Park Lane jewelry lady, and I'm actually having a private showing. She's like a private shopper, personal jeweler, and she's going to be coming to my house on this date. So I would like you to choose a ring of your choice to wear between now and your showing and therever after as a reminder of how much I appreciate you. So I do that. Something else that people do, and again, I don't have all the visuals here, but I want you to make the stories in your head. A lot of the girls will do this thing like they'll have these Park Lane boxes, and we all have tons of Park Lane boxes. Excuse me for a second. In our house, you know. And as the people come in, they'll hand them a box. And they'll just say, I just want you to hold this box. Don't open it. I just want you to hold it. Maybe put it under your chair. We'll revisit it later. And it's kind of a way to make introductions and also to greet the people and give them a little something. And they'll take the Park Lane box and they'll put it under their chair. And then later in the showing, after they've gotten out the books and stuff, what the gals will do is they'll take out a jewelry tray or some kind of jewelry thing. It'll be absolutely dripping with jewelry. Now, this is proven. Girls love glittery things. We're like squirrels. We're like shiny thing. They bring it out and they go, oh, and they'll say, okay, now do you remember that box that I gave you when you first came in? Okay, this is the time. Now, and they'll describe the hostess program, or they'll talk about the benefits of having a showing, or they'll say like, don't overthink it, 3 or 4 people around a kitchen table is perfect. And if you decide to help me grow my business in that way, so exciting, can't wait to give you free jewelry. If you decide to do that, then you get to open your box. Don't do it yet, because let me tell you what's in the box, okay? When you open the box, in the inside cover of the box, there's gonna be a number. And the number is either gonna be 1, 2, or 3, okay? When you decide to have your own private showing, if you had a 1 in the cover of your box, you get to pick 1 piece of jewelry off my jewelry tree and take it with you today. If you have a 2, you get to take 2 pieces with you today. And if you have a 3, you get to take 3 pieces of jewelry with you today. Now the only caveat is that you don't even open your box unless you know that you're going to have your own private showing, and it's so exciting. I'm hoping we get to see each other again. Don't even open your box if that's not something that you want to do, because I don't want you to feel pressured. And if you know that you're going to open your box, then I'm going to give you one chance right now to trade with somebody else before you open it. Okay, so that's something that you can do. And then just on the inside scoop, as fashion directors, we totally skew them in our favor. Okay, so, if we bring 12 boxes, we'll have, 8 of them will have 1s, 2 of them or 3 of them will have 2s, and 1 of them will have the 3. Okay, so totally skewing it in our favor. But again, that's an immediate visual that you can use that again seals the deal. And then I've just always found that when you're able to give them something, it's almost like you're trading them, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to give you your little purse, or I can't wait for you to pick off the tree. Let's look at my calendar. Do you have a favorite day of the week? Or, and inevitably they'll go, oh, I have to pick a date now. And I'll say, oh yeah, I said, if nothing else, tentative. But I said, my calendar fills up really quickly and we want to get you on here. And then tentative is our favorite word. So that's something I train everybody on. Do not, unless there's just absolutely no possible way to get them to get on your calendar that very day, I always, always, always put them on my calendar. And every once in a while, someone will really be able to just put me off and say, I just have to get to where my calendar is or whatever. But 99% of people go on my calendar right there where they can see me write it, because that's a very important transitional part of the whole operation when you're doing the bookings, okay? So, and then sometimes maybe let's say you have like 1 purse done, or you have 2 purses done. I've told you before how sometimes I'll get the process going. If it's like just not going anywhere, that I'll be like, I'll be your first booking, something like that. If let's say you have that 1 little purse left, and you'll be like, all right, we have 1 little purse left on the table. Here's what I'm going to promise. If somebody takes that purse, the hostess gets what's inside it too. If all 3 are gone, the hostess gets what's inside that one too. And then that's kind of fun, because the hostess will be like, come on, you guys, and I'll go, and aside from that, I go, you get $50 for 5 at this one, you get $50 for 5 at that one, and you get $100 for 10 when we do the 3rd, plus one of those 3 booking rings. So this is a very important purse. Who's going to be your 3rd friend, okay? So that's the way to kind of work with visuals and to get multiple bookings at shows. We're coming up with new ideas all the time. Hopefully I got your creative juices going, but remember, have a visual, immediate gratification, and get the dates on your calendar.